love to fucking see it, right? Fucking Jesus. The building was split with perfect symmetry along its center, divided into east and west without a millimeter's deviation. The east side housed the government office of the American Army, while the west side contained those of the Chinese Army. At one point, the two sides had been locked in a battle over which would name a supreme commander for the Japanese occupation. However, since both sides feared such a struggle might produce roadblocks for the governing of Japan, they had pushed the matter to this side. In other words, the American and Chinese had formed a twisted government in which both sides named a supreme commander. Decisions were made based on the talks between the two. That is horribly inefficient. Holy God. Of course, neither side was allowed any room for compromise in these discussions. This GHQ and was the front line of the new battlefield between America and China. Because of this, both countries sent in the best of the best to serve as their supreme commanders. The Chinese government dispatched a man possessing one of the best minds in the entire CMC. Of course, the American government also sent a man with a great mind. This man had entered the U.S. military academy at West Point with top grades. When he graduated from there, it was one of the highest grades ever recorded at that institution. Good dude, holy fuck. After performing magnificently in World War I, he eventually became the Army's youngest Major General. He went on to become Chief of Staff of the United States Army Commander in the Far East, and the Supreme Commander, Southwest Pacific area. I mean, if he's fucking Chief of Staff, fuck. In 1944, he was promoted to the 5-star rank of General of the Army. With his sharp wits, he had taken the initiative in the government of Japan. The man's name was Douglas. Douglas! Supreme Commander Douglas MacArthur. MacArthur walked out of the conference room, having a pleasant chat with the Chinese Supreme Commander Liang through an interpreter. Behind them followed the Directors General for the 23 independent cities within Tokyo Metropolis. The American and Chinese officers bowed each other respectively, before splitting off into their respective buildings to the east and west. Beyond the barrier formed by those bowing officers, Butler stood. Fuck. The last in the line of the Directors General was the Director General of City 23. When he saw Butler, he signaled to him with a small nod. Butler turned and walked away, a satisfied smile on his face. Welcome back, Captain. Congratulations, Rose. Looks like we're a go. Of course, he doesn't mean you get a blank check to run. Of course, that doesn't mean you get a blank check to run wild. I understand. Primavera and Caleb's Hotel. We'll endeavor to limit the gun combat to those two areas and keep it as small as possible. On paper, this will be a military police operation for maintaining the public order. Counting on you. Got it? I understand. We'll see to it that nothing happens to tarnish your reputation, Captain. Wayne, I know you might get overexcited, but we're trusting you. I understand, Rose. This isn't a street fight between brats, it's a war. You got that right. No doubt about it. This is war. Nice talk, guys. On that day, all the important people were gathered in the guest house hideout. By Wayne's recollection, there were 7 people from Primavera, including Leo and Rose. Also, 3 people from the occupying forces with Butler, and 5 people from the Golden Dragon Society with Lee. First, the person most responsible for carrying out this plan, Leo pointed out a map with Belton Plaza Hotel, and Primavera began to explain. He went into detail describing the assault of Primavera, which would entail a precise strategy centered around taking Amanda hostage. If we can't capture Amanda, nothing else matters. Got it. Right before we strike, we make contact with one of our people on the inside. They'll grab Amanda. Sure, is Lucky and Amanda spending her nights at the club. Even God's on our side. Or is that even more like divine punishment? Will they truly be safe, the girls in the club? No, but you know what? If they cannot restrain Amanda, our plan will crumble right from the start. It's the most worrying part of this strategy. Don't worry, the girls have plenty of fighting spirit right now. Plus, they're even more pissed at Amanda than we are, right? They'll be able to handle it. For some reason, those club girls do seem to find the strength when they band together. It's alright. I'm sure it will work. Do you have any basis for that certainty? I'm sure Amanda is smart enough not to offer a pointless resistance. It won't take her long to understand. She'll notice the winds are changing again. Agreed, that woman's an adult on top of being smart. Feel the same way too. She's not the kind of person who'd waste her last moments. It should be more than possible to secure her without the club bodyguards noticing. At the same time Amanda was taken hostage, Cyrus's group could leave the hotel across the street and attack Primavera. Since Amanda would be their hostage, it was hard to imagine much resistance from their bodyguards, but there was probably a few punk-level guys among them. There was at least some danger of someone reflexively firing off a shot and starting a gunfight. We just gotta live our way through that. Anyway, lightning war is what we're looking for here. We'll stage hold up while they're getting themselves drunk, like they always do. That'd be most wonderful results to suddenly take back the club without having to raise a gun. Yeah, ideally. That's not going to happen, though. Obviously.
Perfect kind of elegance for ladies of the evening. Leave it to us, Cyrus. I don't want to see our beloved club covered in bullet holes. That is the first stage of the plan. The next part is when the battle begins. We could have Amanda contact him herself, or we could let one of her bodyguards escape and have that person pass on the message. It shouldn't take long for Caleb to find out that Amanda has been taken hostage. With Caleb on the ropes, we can't afford to make a weak move. Surely he will summon a great army to take Amanda back. That group will be rounded up by the police, but we want to reel in as many of them as possible. Got it. If we want to catch a big one with our bait, my group will have to make a show of fighting back. The police will come, but they won't be standing in wait nearby. Don't let your guard down. I'm really sorry about that. I can't guarantee that we've got no bad cops who are in touch with Caleb. The plan was to gather up the Caleb family around Primavera and have the police arrest them. However, the lower-level policemen had been told nothing of this. After all this, they couldn't deny the possibility that one of the officers was an informant for Caleb. Because of that, it would be made to look like the police had been dispatched from the station upon receiving a call from Primavera. So it wasn't like having a magic button that could drop all the enemies surrounding Primavera into pits. We'll set up a barricade in the club and prepare for a siege battle. Unfortunately, Primavera was built to be surprisingly secure. Fortunately. Not unfortunately. Before the games get started, we'll have the club girls get to the work on sealing those entrances. Once we have control inside the club, we'll gather up all the girls and have them help set up the barricade. We're up against troops back from front lines. They'll probably be cautious. That's why setting up a barricade will work. Keep your wits about you, everyone. Hey, this is an easy job for us. And make sure you keep your wits about you, Rose. It was also possible that reinforcements would slip through the police's net and return to protect Caleb. We're counting on the captain again here. Our captain's got all kinds of chances to act the hero. Hey, I've got American blood flowing through my veins, don't I? True. We always gotta act the hero. The police and military police will cut off the main streets heading towards the hotel. That way Caleb will be cut off from any assistance. That would be the most ideal result. Once the police start moving, we will contact Rose. And that's when we'll start moving. The three of us, me, Wayne, and Rose, will take Caleb down. Wait, what? I didn't fucking agree to that. Silence fell in the room. Each step didn't take long to describe, but they had no idea how dangerous each would be. It might be over before they knew it. However, they might run into terrifying resistance. The most unpredictable situation was Leo's group attacking the hotel. In all the hotels that Caleb hides out in, they've taken control of an entire floor of suite rooms. It's extremely fortunate for us, since we don't want to drag any innocent people into this. But regardless of whether Caleb is staying on the main floor at the moment, Miguel's men are always stationed there and on their guard. They're elite guards, especially selected by Miguel himself. Unfortunately, if we tried to lie and wait inside the hotel beforehand, they would almost certainly find us. We'll have to observe the hotel from the outside, rush inside it, and search for Caleb. We already have a man inserted among the hotel staff. Furthermore, we have arranged for a normal room to be reserved and loaded with weapons and ammunition. They didn't know what would happen. Having some weapons ready to use couldn't hurt. So they'd filled up one of the hotel rooms with weapons beforehand. Thanks, now we can fire off as much as we want. But take care not to injure any innocent people. I know, just one look at their eyes is all I need to know to see if they're a sheep or a wolf. It'll be okay. Once Wayne and I start making a show, all the good kids will run away to go hide their pillows. I'll ask that you finish things quickly and quietly, like ninjas. Otherwise, this time Caleb would be the one barricaded in. Even if his reinforcements have been cut off, it is conceivable that Caleb has many weapons hidden on the suite floor. Yeah, probably that's what I would do. That's what I would do. But he'll still be a rat in a trap. He won't escape. Once he's cut off from support, I think even Caleb will listen to what we have to say. You think so? That man? Yes, he's another person who bears the lives of a great many people. When he realizes he's been completely defeated, I think he'll surrender. Most of the people here thought Rose should go to Primavera, not the hotel. However, Rose herself had fiercely opposed this. She said she wanted to persuade Caleb. I mean, you're not going to, but... Men don't always calculate things based on profit and loss. It's possible he'll stubbornly refuse to accept defeat and try to take you down with him. I agree with Wayne. I understand, too. He's another person who's failed to die. To him, the war still isn't over. It's a bit hard for me to believe that you can shatter a man's delusions with just a few words. Rather than persuade him, we should think about ending his war. Killing Caleb isn't our highest priority. Our goal is only to attack him as a step of dissolving the Caleb family. If he understands the situation and surrenders, there'll be no need to kill him. I understand how you feel, but he would continue to exist as a source of discord in City 23. Keeping the worst case scenario in mind, we had better use this chance to settle things with him once and for all. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing stopping him from just rising another family up. But doing it in a more covert way, that is. No. Killing him is not our highest priority. We ought to kill him. He has his own ideals and an iron will determined to see them through. I find it hard to believe that you'll succeed in persuading him to abandon his ideals. No, we won't kill him. Not as long as he surrenders. That's my decision as the madam. I won't let anyone dispute that fact, not even you. If you say so. I can only pray that your softness doesn't lead to trouble somewhere down the line. Normally, Richard wasn't the sort of person who would suggest taking a person's life. However, this was a war, and a vital event that would decide the future of City 23. No, the future of their countrymen. For Richard, who always assumed the worst-case scenario, Rose's decision probably did sound naive. Leo, I'll leave it to your judgment on the scene. I understand, however, the truth is I'd rather not kill him too if it were possible. He's always been the one treating me to meals. Just once, and I'd like to return the favor. Yeah, fucking lead meal. How we decided. It's a war between Primavera and Caleb. It's not our place to object. That completes the overview of our plan. The day we carry it out is undecided. We'll do it when Caleb shows up at the Belton Plaza Hotel. Until that day, we'll be waiting in our respective hideouts. Leo's group was hiding out in a place they could observe the hotel. Cyrus's group was laying low in a cheap hotel across the street from Club Primavera. X's day might come tonight, or it could come from a month from now. But eventually it will come, and Amanda's just going to stay there, and they're not going to be like, hey, this is kind of weird. Silence fell once again. Someone gulped, and it sounded loud enough that everyone in the room heard it. Then Rose smiled in a way that calmed everyone down. Oh, and by the way, while we're hiding out, we've got some excellent service for you. We're planning to distribute special dinners until the big day comes. Leah's group will be provided by Lee, and Cyrus's by the captain. Leo and Wayne, you'd better look forward to some exquisite Chinese cooking. Are you kidding me? I don't really like Chinese food. That is because you never have eaten it. Such a shame. Before the decisive day comes, I shall give you a thorough instruction in China's 4,000 years of delicious food. Throw in some delicious Chinese women, I've got no complaints. On my end, we've got to log our expenses. I'll be paying for Cyrus's group out of my own pocket. Hold on there, Captain. You better not be stingy on meal before a fight, eh? Please, let me slide with the stew and sandwiches. I'll be using my mom's special recipe. We're having the captain's homemade food? Talk about a different treatment. Don't say that, it's really good. I'll bring beer too. Well, that's different then. Get us a keg and we'll forgive you. That's not funny. Why should an unmarried girl be stuck eating food made by a guy who isn't even her boyfriend? Heh, Stella, that really hurts. Leo, come on and swap groups with me. I'm feeling like some Chinese right now. You lucky bastard. Don't worry. I wouldn't dare get between you and your homemade sandwiches. How could anyone be so hungry right before a bloodbath? You've gotten my respect, old guys. Better not take food grudges lightly, my friends. If I die like this, I'll come back and curse you all. You say something, Richard. You'd rather have a fucking Manchuhan Imperial Feast, wouldn't you? As long as good tea is served, nothing else matters to me. So I'm on your tea serving duty again until the big day. The atmosphere eventually lightened up, and for a short while the tension of the impending showdown was swept aside. This small surprise was something Rose had decided on and prepared for. To Leo, it seemed very much like Rose to show this sort of consideration before the final confrontation. You probably understand, but... Yes, I know. This isn't a final showdown. That's right, it isn't a fight to end anything. Well, I mean, it's a fight to end, like, Caleb's family stuff. But it's not like a fight to end all fight type shit. Like, there'll just be another group, another group, another group. But as long as you, like, have an iron grip over the city or whatever, it's really hard to lose that. Like, you just have to supplant where Caleb was. Obviously not charge, like, cover costs and shit like that. because that's how you grow resentment. The more people that will resent you, the more people that will want to support your downfall and shit like that. But since they've already mentioned other cities will be looking at this, it will be like, hey, look, an oyster's right there. Nice pearl. It's a fight to start up a new city 23. Because our true fight starts after we defeat Caleb. That's right. We can't let ourselves get killed in the opening scene. Exactly. There's only one thing I can say for sure. What's that? I really can't wait to see some Peking duck. For some Peking duck. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. Hey, Wayne, leave the room. Amanda? Yes, darling. Are your lodgings tonight comfortable? It's just like you said. Carrying a familiar pillow around with you isn't really so bad. You really are faithful to a fault, aren't you? You really did it. I told you, didn't I? I don't listen to men, but I always listen to what women say. I always faithfully followed what my mom and my wife told me. And you're putting me in that group? Thank you. I hear you've started spending your nights at Primavera. Yes, I've been feeling worn out too. That's careless of you. What comes will come, and anyway, if something happened to me, you'd come to my rescue, wouldn't you? Of course. I'd leap into hell to come save you. Whether it's flattery or not, it pleases me to hear you say that. You know I'm not considerate enough for flattery. That's true enough. Hey, Caleb. What? You said you'd leap into hell to come save me. Yeah, I said it. Does that mean you would be willing to die with me? You might as well take it that way. You're the last woman I'll ever have. My wife came first, but there'll be no one after you. So when it comes time to die, I'll stick with you till the end. Thank you. Of all of your sweet words, those are the best. Someday, I'd like to stand alongside you again as we chat about those silly things. You can. We'll have all the time in the world in the pit of hell. Ha ha. Sounds great. We can get some demons to fill our glasses. Hey, Caleb. You must have started to see it by now, haven't you? Ah, what are you talking about? You really mean that? Yeah. Now knowing when to give up's my only good point. You must be worn out by now. Not at all. We really are old. We are already old. We can't pick fights with the people. Yelling, screaming, running around anymore. Much less changing beds every night. Neither of us can keep it up. In your life up until now, I imagined you've challenged everything, experienced all kinds of things. But do you know there's one thing you've never done? Oh, I can't imagine what. You've never thrown everything aside and run away. To throw all those troublesome responsibilities and ideals away and run. True enough. It does sound like it would be pretty fun if it were possible. You've never done it, have you? It feels great, you know. So, us leaving the city with nothing more than a suitcase. Us leaving the city with nothing more than a suitcase. Wonderful, isn't it? Try to imagine. Obediently, Caleb imagined it. It was a beautiful scene, like something in a black and white film from the good old days. They still are in that time. How wonderful it would be if the actor in that scene were himself. Not bad. It'd be even better if the words "the end" appeared and everything faded to black. However, sorry, but I can't. I voiced my ideals and a great many people have been sacrificed. There are already so many people who gave up their lives because they had the same dream as me. After all that, I can't even consider being the only one to live on. If you're that resolved to do it, doesn't it get a little ridiculous? True. Pretty pathetic, right? Would you like to have a drink sometime soon? You can at least give me that much, can't you? Yeah, Miguel will probably complain, but I've been feeling the same way. You're always drinking with him, aren't you? Drink with me every now and then. Where are you now? I'll be checking out of here soon. Let's meet at the next place. Where are you staying next? We drank together there earlier. You know, the one with the great bar that had a fish tank. I remember. Wasn't that the Belton? The Belton Plaza Hotel. Got him. Easy peasy. October 20th, 1974, a Monday. Weather, cloudy, 20.6 Celsius. High, 14.0 Celsius. Low. It was recorded as an overcast yet not unpleasant day. Should have been written a high of 20.6 and a low of 14, whatever. Fuck it. Ugh. Oh, weather memes. More than 2 weeks had passed since Leo and Cyrus's groups had split up and started waiting at their respective hideouts. The initial tension had faded and most of the people were spending their day casually, probably not expecting it to be any different from today. Or yesterday. 2 hideouts had been set up around the Belton Plaza Hotel to observe the front and back of the building. Leo's group of the 3 people had hidden out in a building with a view of the hotel's front, while Lee's underlings had done the same behind the hotel. 6:29 p.m. They received a call in fluent Japanese from a Chinese man observing the back of the hotel. Leo, he says Caleb's here. So he's finally appeared. Should we contact Cyrus? Hold up a bit. Rose, contact our man inside the hotel. Let's double check. Have him confirm that's definitely Caleb. Yes, I'm having him do that now. We're waiting to hear back from him. For a while, they glared at the unringing phone, quivering in anticipation. Was it a false report or the truth? Finally, the phone rang and Rose snatched it up. Okay, he says he just came in, no doubt about it. Leo. Tell Cyrus and the captain that our guest has checked in. Sure. Light it up. 6:31 p.m. Moving fast. 2 minutes. Cyrus' group was contacted about Caleb's arrival. Caleb showing up at the hotel? You're up, Meryl. I'm calling them now. Hold on a sec. There's 7 bodyguards in the store today. Good thing there's one less than usual. Hello, it's finally time. We're starting the operation. What's Amanda doing? Is she in her room? If she's holed up in her room, this should be easy. Yeah, just this one day. Do I have a bunch of bodyguards protecting her? They say she's alone in her room, but there are 2 bodyguards by the door. That's within our calculations. We're counting on all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the time to fight has come. The fight for our children's future. Let's start cooking. It's time to make a legend. Oh god. Fuck, it's getting fucking tense. You ready, everyone? Yeah. Stella's group is already on its way here. We've got to grab Amanda right before they arrive. Yeah. Iris and I will grab her. Everyone do as we planned. You got that? If you get scared and screw up, they'll just make this even more dangerous. If you don't want to die, you better be bold and follow through till it's over. Got it? 6:34 p.m. The plan goes into motion.